Oh. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Always Level Up, the podcast. This is episode number 5. And this is where we bring on my guests and we talk about leveling up in business, relationships, health, and knowledge. And today, my guest is Marcela Alcala. Marcela is from McAllen, Texas. Spent some time in Mexico. She's also she majored in criminology and psychology. She's also a licensed real estate agent at New Western. She is an expert in sales and acquisitions. And today she's here to talk about how she's leveled up throughout her life. Welcome, Marcela.
Thank you. It's an honor. We're good.
Doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
We had our coffee.
Yeah, ready to go.
Yeah, that's good.
So, Marcela, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, who you are and, where you're from.
Okay. Well, you said it. I'm from McAllen, Texas. I grew up there, originally from Mexico, but all my life has been over here. I moved to San Antonio to attend college, St. Mary's University. I majored criminology, psychology. That's like my little hobby, crime investigation, all that good stuff. Then I got into real estate very randomly, and there's been no going back since.
Nice, awesome. So, before you got into real estate, where did you begin? What was your first major level up? Where did it start?
Yeah, well, like I said, I attended St. Mary's, and my last semester I actually finished in Washington, D.C.
Really?
I was working for the Superior Court.
Wow.
It was an amazing experience. It was too cold, and the people were too cold, so I didn't like it.
The people were cold.
Yeah, the
like
people
the
were
attitudes
cold.
were
Like,
cold.
yeah. Like I would go to the gas station and no one smiles, no one says anything, and I could have gone back after college for an actual job because I was just in an internship, just finishing my last semester, and I told my dad I can't. Like, the weather's so cold, and the people are just. I'm a people person. I gotta smile. I gotta say hi, and it just wasn't for me. So I ended up declining that. I graduated. I started working here at a bank as a money laundering analyst.
Really?
So
That's
I've always been into all of that. I loved it, but it was very like behind the scenes, behind a computer, 8 to 5, clock in, clock out, even clock out for lunch. Like, it was just too much. But I just wanted to detach from my family. I've always been very blessed. My dad has been our provider for ever since I can remember, obviously.
Sounds like a great role model.
Absolutely. But I've just always been, I want to be independent. I wanted to make my own money. I was grateful for them and grateful for that I could lean on them, but I was just like, no, this is not who I am. So I took on this job. I absolutely hated it. It was fun what I was doing, but like hated the atmosphere, hated the 8 to 5, and I just wasn't content. And my dad knew that, and we've always bumped heads because we're so alike.
Yeah.
So it's like he wanted me out of there, and he wanted to advise me to be out of there, but then I guess he would think, she's just like me. Like, I wouldn't get out of it either because she needs to, she
Experience,
wants,
right?
and she wants this, but she doesn't want it, if that makes any sense.
So were you kind of getting a feel of, what was going to work for you or not? You kind of thought maybe this is what I want to do, but then you got out there and it's like, nah, this ain't it.
I think I knew it wasn't it.
Yeah.
My dream was to be like an investigator. But then I learned that I had to be a cop for 4 years. And I was like, all right, that's definitely not for me. So I was just, I guess, going with the motions, day by day type of thing. But always looking for more.
Right.
And then a situation happened that I had to go back home. My dad got very sick. He was in the hospital, and my dad's my everything. So I went back home. The bank tried to call me every single day, telling me that my vacation days were out, and I was like, this is not vacation. Like, this is something serious. I'm not going back to work. I'm not leaving. And they fired me. They let me go. They kind of gave me an ultimatum, and I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna be with my dad.
It was a sign, right?
It was a sign, and I was just like, how can they be so mean.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like, understand the situation. I'm not out having a blast.
So your dad must have been pretty
Yeah.
ill.
Yeah. It was bad. It was a scary few weeks. And then randomly, he got better, thankfully. And randomly, he just says, Tita. He calls me Tita. He goes, why don't you get your real estate license? He goes, I don't know what you're gonna do with it, but maybe you can help me out. My dad has a few properties. I've always helped him manage his businesses. But I had no idea what real estate was, like nothing at all. And I was like, no, because that means going back and him helping me. And I was already like, no. Obviously, I had no choice. I took the shot. He helped me get my real estate license. I went to Champions.
There you go.
In class.
Champions for a champion.
Yeah. I passed. And then at Champions is where I heard of New Western.
Right.
The funny story is, so if anyone's familiar with how Champions going to that little school is, you get different brokerages coming to kind of tell you why you should go with them and why they're the best fit.
Right.
So New Western was actually the first brokerage to go when I first started, like my very first day, and I had said it in my brain, I'm not going to commit to anyone until I even know if I'm going to pass the test. Right. And I've always been very...
You weren't really sure that you were...
It was so weird. But I remember I held on to the little pamphlet that it was you that went and another agent. I remember perfectly. You guys took tacos. So I was like, ooh, check. And
gotta feed the people.
Yeah. And tacos... and
food for the soul.
Yeah. And I held on to the little pamphlet, and to get your license, it's at least a month and a half. So every day,
depending, right? How many times
you fail it? Yeah. Well, I passed on the first.
Take serious.
Yeah. I passed on the first. But to the classes, we had brokerages come every day. Keller Williams, Remax, everyone that you can think of. Well, it was finally time to take my exam. I had finished all the courses. And I was actually about to sign with another brokerage.
Right.
I had passed, and I said, wait, I remember that one brokerage. I didn't even know investment real estate existed. Very naive in the topic. And I said, I'm going to call them. And I called you guys. Then, yeah, I'm here. It's been ever since, no looking back, and it's been a wonderful ride.
Yeah. So what were some of the challenges when it came to figuring out, this is something that you want to do? I mean, because it's not easy getting into it, right?
Yeah. As far as getting into like the real estate world, I think I didn't even have time to look at the challenges. It was like, I'm either in or I'm out. Like, this is my only option at this point.
Right.
No more bank. I really don't want to do any of that. What I was attempting to do with my major. And I guess it was such a battle in my head because I was like, I went to school for something and I'm not doing anything that has to do with that. We paid a lot of money for that degree. So it was a very difficult battle, but I had to accept it.
And do you think like college prepared you for anything, or?
Absolutely. I think it does prep you for something, and you'll take something out of it. Maybe I didn't take my criminology degree or my psychology degree, but at the same time, I kind of did, and I learned the value of obviously education. I went to class every day. I did graduate with good grades and all that good stuff. So I think I don't regret it. I think if anything, perhaps maybe the major could have been differently. But I don't know. I've always been a person to just think things
I think
quickly and then.
And there was a psychology part of it, right?
Oh yeah, I use that for sure.
Dealing with people and different personalities.
Yeah, reading their brains and all of that. Yeah, I got you. And it's a hobby. I love my crime shows. I love all that stuff. Maybe in my other life I'll be a detective. I don't know, but this is where I'm meant to be. And in real estate and yeah.
So once you made the commitment, you jumped right in. How hard was it, or how easy was it to get up off the ground and get going?
Here at New Western.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was hard, but I was up for the challenge. And back in the day, so this is 4 years ago, I knew it was a very male-dominant industry. I was probably one of the only females in the company. I think there was only like 3 company-wide. And it was challenging because just coming on here, with all the guys,
Right.
not knowing who I am, who's this girl, what does she think she's doing. They were all very nice, obviously, but to me, that challenge became like what motivated me. It was
Right.
like, I'm gonna show these guys who I am, that I'm not just a girl. I'm not just a girl with a makeup. No, I'm gonna show them I can do this.
Right.
And it's difficult, obviously, at the beginning. I mean, it's 100% commission job. So just that kind of freaks you out right off the bat. And trying to get your leads, trying to call your investors, all of that. But I said, I'm gonna go full force. And I did just that. And I would get random calls from my dad. Is this worth it, Tita? Is this worth it? And I said, Dad, yes, just give me a little bit. And because obviously he was covering my car payment, he was covering all of that. So he was still helping me. Again, very grateful, very blessed for that. But I wanted to soon detached. And I think it took me a good 8 months to really and then get going, and it worked very well.
Yeah.
I was able to start paying for my own stuff, start helping my family, and then shortly after I bought my first car, like big girl purchase.
There you go.
So yeah.
That's a nice level up.
Yeah. So
what was it?
a Range Rover. Yeah.
I take it you like nice things.
Yeah, and I recently just upgraded too.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I mean, it was a lot of challenge. But how I tell the newer agents now that come along, like if I were to be told you need to do all those 9 months all over again, I would do it in a heartbeat. Just by seeing how much growth I've had, and not just financially. Just I think it's been a roller coaster of I've matured a lot more personally, professionally. Like in the last 4 years, I've seen probably maybe bad moments in me, but I've seen myself grow out of them and just become a way better person.
And what do you think was it that made you realize, like, man, there's these things I need to work on. You know, what was some of the aha moments?
Yeah,
you know,
mistakes for sure.
Learning from your mistakes.
Yeah. That happens. But I think it was just that, and I think also the people around me. I mean, you all have became family, friends. Obviously, yes, we're associates, we're coworkers, however you want to call it. But you don't see this often. You don't see, if I have a problem, I'm able to call Carlos, or I'm able to call, I don't know, Eric, Natasha, JD. And I think it was just, I don't know, it all rolled into it. And just like I would make my mistakes, I would also progress. And now 4 years later, I think I'm proud to say that I've grown so much personally and professionally. And I don't think there's going back anymore. Like, I think it's only up from here, and I'm excited for what that looks like, and this is what gave me that. Obviously, I put the work and I did a lot of it, but I think.
So what kind of work do you have to put maybe outside of work? You know, as far as your own personal growth.
Yeah. Well, I work out. I work out, and just as far as personal growth, I try to read. I do read some stuff, and I guess just meditation within yourself. I obviously don't do the whole yoga stuff or meditate, but just reflecting, self-reflection, and just being a good person.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. And being the same person all around. I think you and I were just talking about that. Like, there comes a point where I think everyone has this problem where with certain people, they say what that person wants to hear just to get somewhere, but then behind closed doors they're a complete different person. And I think I'm huge on just being the same person all around, with your best friend, with your boyfriend, with your wife, with your girlfriend, with your coworkers, with your boss, with your parents. And I think that's huge, and that's a lot of the personal growth that I've done as far as just being good all around, and
being able to be yourself,
and there's no
sugar
mess up, no sugarcoating. It's like, this is who I am, and if there's a problem, let's talk. Nothing like petty or drama or anything like that. And yeah, I think that's huge, and I pride myself in that now, and that's what I strive for the people around me to be, and yeah.
Yeah, because it can be challenging, when you're out there and you're trying to reflect on yourself and you're like, well, man, do I have any weaknesses? And nobody, like, you don't want to admit you have a weakness, right? No, I'm strong. But I think that's a different type of strength, when you're able to reflect on yourself and say, okay, this is something that's been brought to my attention. I should work on it, or whatever it may be, and whatever that looks like. I think throughout life we have these series of aha moments where we're like, man, okay, I need to pay attention to that.
Yeah.
That's something, or I need to watch what I say, right? Because I don't want to make sure I'm taken seriously all the time.
Yeah,
right? So,
or at least just being able to take when someone advises you, maybe you should change. Like, I know we butt heads a lot because you would I would be like, I feel forced, Carlos, and then I was like, oh, that's what he meant. So yeah, it's definitely important to listen to what other people have to tell you. It doesn't mean that they're being mean to you. It's just take it and then reflect on it, and then whether you change it or not, it's up to you, but at least you took it in and it's engraved in your brain, and then you decide what to do with it. So yeah.
So, in your career, you've done really well. You've sold a lot of houses, and now you buy a lot of houses, and now you're really on a roll, and stepping up and managing people now. How does that? How does it impact you now when you have to lead people? What does that feel like?
It feels good. It's been challenging. It's just a whole different stuff to handle. Normally I sell and buy houses and it's me. It's only me. And now I'm as a sales manager, I'm like managing and leading a team. So I have to be extra careful, be patient. I'm patient, but it's a whole complete different monster, I guess, when you're dealing with more than 5 people. You have to understand how each and every one is, and you also have to continue producing for yourself, and for the office. So it's been challenging, but I'm very content. I think it's been going well, and I think it's going to continue to go well, and I think we have a good little team going on. But it is different.
It's a new level, right?
New, complete different level. Like now I'm like, oh shoot, I understand Carlos. Like, how does he do it? Like, I'm just stressing. But yeah, I'm excited, and let's see where it all goes.
Yeah, so you've made this complete change from having the family support, which I think is important. It doesn't matter whether you have it all or just have somebody giving you a place to stay. Throughout life, as we go from education and learning in school or wherever we're at, we need help, right? And then you get to that point where you want your independence, and as you get that independence, it's like, okay, now what, right? Yeah. There's a little bit more to go and have, and what is your next level look like? What are you constantly striving for?
Yeah, I think helping my family. I think that was huge, and I continue to want to do that. Like I said, my dad's like my number one motivator. He's who I think I'm almost a twin of his. Sometimes the attitude is not too good, but I think it's gotten me where I'm at. I'm very strong, I'm very direct, I'm very independent. I think that has gained me a lot of my success, and I've always been very blessed to have him, but I've always also thought about it like, okay, now it's my turn. Right. And I have been able to help my family out a lot, and I think that's just my main, like, what I strive for. Right. Obviously, better things for me as well, like buying a house and having kids one day, getting married, but have a family. But I think my number one motivation is my family, and I want to be there if they need me, whether it's financially, whether it's I need to leave this job. It sounds so weird even calling it a job. Like, it gives me that. I have the financial freedom. I have the freedom to talk to you and tell you I need to take some time off. I need to handle a family matter, and I'll still be okay, and they'll be okay. So I think that's what I strive for and continue to, and have gotten there, and I want to always be there for them to help in whatever way I can.
Yeah, well, it's you know, I often say it's there's degrees of success, you know, and as you create that habit of just advancing yourself and moving and learning and growing, right? It just becomes a habit. It's just what you do, and your family can depend on you. People can depend on you as you continue to rise and grow. So it's been awesome to see and witness, you know, the ups, the downs, all around. It's crazy, but we all have them. You know, we all have them, and that's what makes, you know, just life so awesome when you're able to handle it and keep moving forward. So as you know, continue to move, you continue to work, and you know, you're striving to be, you know, the best that you can be every single day. What is it that you would want, you know, to share with somebody that what piece of advice would you give someone that's trying to advance themselves?
Yeah, I think don't give up. I think it's times can get difficult. You can get frustrated, you can cry, you can throw a tantrum. I've been there. I still do that sometimes. But it's just like, don't give up. Like, if you feel it in your heart that you want to do something, you definitely can. It sounds so cliche. I'm not into cliche sayings, but it really is true. Like, it really, really is true. Just be positive and wake up. If you can't control the big things, control the small things. Maybe eat healthier. Maybe go to work out. Stuff that you can control, just to get your brain in a positive, and then the light will come. And take advantage if you have an opportunity, but you're not really doing your full force. Don't settle. Like, you have the potential to strive to be the best that you can, but you can't just think that stuff is going to come to you. Like, it will not. It's you have to want it, and you have to work for it. And obviously you're not going to just say, oh, I want to be great, and millions are going to come down from the sky. No, but
just think about it.
Yeah,
and it'll show up at your door.
No, it doesn't happen that way. You have to play with your brain and control the stuff that you can control. And then I think take action, and then I think stuff is just gonna fall.
And then the commitment, right?
Being commitment, like don't settle. I don't like people that settle. Like, it gives me some ansiedad.
I need to keep moving, and you're either coming with me or you're gonna get left behind.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, Marcela, I appreciate you taking the time to join us today. All the gold that you dropped, and you know, I look forward to seeing your continued growth and success. That's all we have on this show today. I hope everyone grabbed your notes, took some notes, and learned something from Marcela. The big deal.